Good evening, everyone. I am Narendra and this is my co-host Samantha, and the topic of tonight's news is delinquency through sibling abuse.
Sibling abuse is the most common form of child abuse. This form is incredibly damaging to their young minds and can lead to mental and even physical destruction.
One prominent example comes from two brothers of the Quire family who are currently residing in Nineveh, Indiana. While David and Jennifer Quire were away at work, their 20-year-old son Stephen was playing his father's guitar, even though he was told not to do so.
Stephen's younger brother, Jack, started to mock his older brother by saying things like, "You suck at guitar." Stephen didn't really mind at first, but when Jack put out a camera to record the event, Stephen's patience has reached its limit.
That's right, Stephen began to throw tantrum by bashing the guitar against the wall and then at the floor several times. As Jack told his older brother that the guitar won't break, the instrument snapped into two, and then Stephen stormed off away from Jack.
Shut up! Better than you, freaking whore! Dad's gonna be so mad when he finds out. I'm not afraid of him! I don't care if he finds out! Dude, you freaking suck. Call him! I don't care! Call him up! I don't care! Go away! My God! You have no freaking life! You don't have a life! Dude! Yeah, go get a freaking life! Freaking whore!
Dude, you freaking suck at
What's
live.
your problem?
Oh my God.
Shut up! I don't care what you think! Get the freaking camera out of my face!
You freaking suck.
Go freaking away! I'm freaking...
Dude, look at you. What? Dude, that's Dad's guitar. Dude, what are you doing?
Shut up!
You can't.
Get the freaking...
You can't even break it.
This violent reaction is not uncommon. Studies have shown an increase in the number of delinquents and believe it is caused by sibling abuse. After all, children are most influenced by their family and peers.
Delinquency through sibling abuse can affect society in many ways. It can bring negative examples for young people, especially to those who have anger management problems, since it shows them poor ways to deal with social challenges.
Thank you, Narendra. Back to you, Liza.
Thanks, guys. Our next story is about parent-to-child abuse.
That is extremely disappointing to see. Far too many children have been reported being neglected like this.
Neglect is the most common type of child abuse. These parents really need to shape up and start treating their children better.
I agree, Liza, but not only these parents, but parents in general. Parents have a huge impact on their children, and that affects how they act in the future. And this has created a major social problem by increasing the amount of delinquents.
Investigators say it was the baby's 4-year-old sister who woke her parents up and told them that the child was still in the bathtub. Tempe police tell us that the parents put the baby in here because he has dirtied his diaper. They unplugged the drain, turned the faucet on, and left the baby alone. And that faucet ran for an hour and 15 minutes.
Days in Tempe?
The manager at the Days Inn was one of the first to see the baby out cold and barely breathing.
He was purple and his eyes were rolled back. He wasn't responding at anything.
The 11-month-old boy is the son of these two, 23-year-old Summer Angeli and 28-year-old Jason Anchondo.
The mother came in here, she couldn't speak.
The couple told the cops they were staying here because they had just moved from California with their 4 little kids. On August 5th, one of their 11-month-old twin boys dirtied the very last diaper. So detectives tell us the parents put the baby in the tub and flipped the faucet on.
I really don't know what happened in there.
Cops say the couple walked out of the bathroom to argue about calling a relative to borrow cash to buy more diapers. After the argument, Mom and Dad went back to bed. Police tell us they're not sure how long the baby was underwater, but it was long enough for him to stop breathing.
The mother came in here running, she was panicking, saying that she needed 911 because her child was not breathing.
The manager says the dad did not even want to call paramedics. It's a good thing they did call. Even though the child is expected to be okay, doctors say the boy has other types of injuries that do not look like accidents and that need to be investigated.
When parents treat their children this way, it ruins our youth. As a matter of fact, in one study, children whose parents abused alcohol and other drugs were 3 times more likely to be abused and more than 4 times more likely to be neglected.
This is true. More than a third of adolescents with a report of abuse or neglect will have a substance use disorder before their 18th birthday, which is 3 times more likely as those who have no reports of any abuse. It has also come to our society's attention that children who experience child abuse and neglect are about 9 times more likely to become involved in criminal behavior.
Yes, these types of actions tend to lead to criminal behavior. 14% of all men in prison and 36% of women in prison in the United States were abused as children, about twice the frequency seen in the general population. Now back to you, Beth.
The problems inherent in abusive families create a cycle that later emerges in the form of elder abuse.
Elder abuse involves physical, verbal, sexual, and/or financial abuse by the child or caregiver towards the elder. 1 to 2 million Americans aged 65 or older have been abused by their caregivers, and the majority of victims are female, while the majority of perpetrators are male.
Children who experience aggressive and abusive behavior in the family are more likely to exhibit these behaviors later in life. This exemplifies a breakdown in the structure of families and society that shows if a child witnesses his or her parent abusing an elderly family member, that child learns that acting aggressively towards the elders is an acceptable behavior.
In the following clip, we see a young man and his grandmother engaging in an argument. The elder shows abusive and aggressive behavior, and in turn the child retaliates with a verbally abusive language. This interaction displays the child's interpretation of his grandmother's behavior as normative, and as a result reacts in a similar manner.
I'll tell you what, you maybe can disrespect your mom and dad, but you're not going to get by with me.
Yeah, when my dad left, he said, "Steven, you're the man of the house."
He did not.
He said,
He did not.
He said, "You're the man of the house."
Well, then why did he have me over here, you little shit?
So, to make sure you don't get all crazy and crap and climb the roof.
Oh, that's... now you're lying.
Okay, how am I lying? I'm not changing it, we're watching this. Stop talking.
Do I have to get my paddle?
Oh my god, anything but the paddle. That hurts so bad. You're so strong.
I've had enough practice. I can do it.
Okay, Barry Bonds, get the paddle. So freaking scared of it.
You son of a bitch.
Stop. What is wrong with you?
I want a little respect.
Stop. You can't hit me in the face with it.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
Well then stand up.
No. Ah, what is wrong with you? Are you freaking out of your mind? Ah, my freaking eye.
I'll tell you what. I'm leaving.
I'm calling my mom. And I'm taking this away before you kill somebody.
Now, I'm calling your mom.
I'm calling my mom and telling her that you hit me in the face with
No,
it.
I'm calling her as I leave out the door.
Oh, I hope you're happy I have a cut under my eye.
You little son of a bitch.
This is a truly unfortunate example of how abusive families act as self-fulfilling prophecies, and that the labels that the family members garner as abusers or victims follow them throughout their lives and cause them to act out their labels.
Truly unfortunate, Beth. Well, this has been Group 2 News. Stay classy, SOCY2031.
Thanks, guys. Our next story is about parent-to-child abuse.
Let's watch ourselves.
Oh my
We're
goodness.
still recording too. Oh no, it's fine.
You, Liza.
Okay.
Bloopers!
That went well. Okay.
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 Too awkward? Too awkward. It's too awkward.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.